How's it going, everybody? This is Cameron White with White Light Astrology, giving you guys your weekly forecast of what the heck is going on in the universe. I'd first like to apologize for being absent this past week and this weekend. I was going through my own stuff, had to do some own realizations, you know how that kind of stuff works. And I do apologize for not putting the video out there. However, I'm back, I'm better than ever, and wow, have we missed a lot. The sun went into Taurus, Venus went direct, Mars went into Gemini. This week, the North Node is going at 0 degrees Virgo, and then Mercury retrograded into Aries and went behind the sun. So let's go ahead and get started on what we're going to be seeing this week. Monday, as Mars is in Gemini, Mars likes to be in Gemini. It's that masculine energy, and as Mars moves through Gemini, it's going to be using its energy to look more logically at things, to understand the dynamics between things, and also to understand the relationship between things. Gemini can put two and two together. It's not like Pisces or Libra, where it's this black and white, or it's this side or that side. Gemini is two different perspectives in this dynamic arena. And as Mars is in Gemini, it's going to be sextiling Venus now in Pisces, now direct. With Venus direct now, it's like, oh my God, it's like, I don't know about you guys, but that affected me a lot. I had a really big healing. I got to cleanse a lot out, and with this Venus going direct, especially when it happened on top of Chiron, it was like this overwhelming feeling of healing, but with this new pain. And with this pain that people could have seen with things coming up, you had the opportunity to look at it through a different perspective and to do something different that you usually don't do when you have pain like that. So as it keeps sextiling Venus, it's time to keep in remembrance of where are we putting our actions and how are we doing this in a way that we really love to. As Venus and Mars sextile as far as relationships too, this is going to be, are you really going for what it is that you really want? Are you taking that in a dynamic perspective, or are you being limited to what you believe you can only, have? As Venus and Mars also sextile, it's going to be actually pushing forward and moving towards the things that we do want to better ourselves on, and that we do want to understand. With Mars in Gemini now, even though it likes to be in Gemini, it's very energized. It can be very distracted, and it can be very unfocused. And with Venus and Pisces still too, it could be very hard for you to be clear on exactly what it is that you want and you actually going for it. Monday, we're still going to have Mercury in retrograde now that it's in Aries. This is bringing that whole, as Mercury was in Taurus, it was like, I thought it was so funny that all these, United Airlines, Pepsi, and Adidas made all these horrible marketing campaigns, United Airlines didn't do that, but anyway, this Mercury retrograde has been pretty intense in Taurus. And as it moves back into Aries, it's now taking, okay, what did we put action on? How is that effective and how is that not effective? And what do we need to change? It goes back to the root of what the issue is and the mindset that you have over it. And if you have any issues right now as far as communication, as far as getting your ideas across about being clear about all that stuff, you just have to go down to being clear about what it is that you want. And we've already went through all of that with Mercury going through Aries already. And as it retrogrades, it's now, okay, let's get a little bit more clear on that. What is it do we really want? What really do we want to go to? And it might not look the way that you want it to. That's the beauty about this Mercury retrograde. Things are going to be changing. Things are not going to be the same moving forward. It's going to be the same idea, the same vision. It's just not going to look exactly the way that you thought it was going to look, which is perfectly okay. The moon will be in Aries on Monday. It will be opposing Jupiter, and that will be squaring Pluto. As the moon goes into Aries, don't be too hard on yourself. Don't beat yourself up. Take this time to really focus on you again, going back to you. Now that we've done the Venus retrograde, we're going through the Mercury retrograde now. We're still in this you energy, but it's getting a lot more real now. It's getting a lot more intense. Sorry if this wind's kind of bugging everyone. It wasn't windy like this 5 minutes ago. However, with this moon in Aries, it's going to be opposing Jupiter. Don't make yourself the bad guy when it comes to a situation. Don't make it look like, oh, I did this, I did that, I'm this, and that, and the other, and this is why my relationships aren't working. This is why this isn't working. This is why X, Y, and Z. Don't beat yourself up. This is a time to move forward. And Pluto's now retrograde too, and it's going to be square. It's square in Pluto. Let's start off with that. As it squares Pluto, anything squaring Pluto, opposing Pluto, it's like we're talking about that deep transformation. What I've been talking about the past couple weeks about your whole foundation and your ground is like shaky and wobbly, and it's now starting to move. As the moon goes into Aries, squaring Saturn and opposing Jupiter, you're transforming the way that you look at this part of your life, as far as how do you look at yourself and your emotional relationship with yourself. And it's time to really take that on into a more, not a dynamic, but a more action-oriented stance and starting to take action on it. Tuesday, the moon will be conjuncting Uranus, and it will be conjuncting Mercury as well. This is getting these intense emotions up. As moon goes over Uranus, it's like, with this Mercury retrograde, you could be rethinking things and going a little bit too overboard with one thing, or too extreme on one hand, and you need to just take a chill pill and relax for a second and go, is this worth my time? Is this worth my energy? Is this worth my emotions? And that's the thing, because your emotions are going to get involved into anything that you do. You might as well start looking at, is this worth emotionally investing myself into, investing my time into, and all those type of things. And as it goes over Uranus, it's going to lead up to extreme ups and downs. However, as it goes over Mercury, this is the big idea, this is the big picture, this is getting the big picture organized. And with this moon in Aries, we got to go back to, what are we feeling? What's right for us? What's going to make us feel more passionate, more alive, more driven, more focused, more energized? All those type of things that you want to keep in mind with the moon going over Mercury, especially with this Mercury retrograde. On Wednesday, we're going to have the beautiful new moon that everyone's been waiting for. Well, when I say everyone, I mean me, because I felt like we needed a new moon after the full moon. And with this new moon in Taurus, it's still going to be trining Saturn. On Wednesday, it's going to be all this, or Tuesday leading up into Wednesday, it's going to be all this intense energy, a lot of self-doubt, a lot of anxiety, a lot of blah, 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 blah. And then on Wednesday, we get to decide which story that we want to choose. Do we want to be anxious? Do we want to be over analytical? Do we want to freak out on everything? Or do we want to feel good and feel alive and feel great? And as the moon goes right over into Taurus, and then a couple hours later, it's right over the sun, that's the time to set the intention on what it is that you want. And when I say want, I want to put it in this context of Taurus, of what's grounding, what's stability, like what gives you security. What enhances your vibration? When we talk about Taurus, Taurus is love, rules beauty, it rules love, it rules security, strength, it rules magnetism. And with this moon over here, you gotta be cold, and you kind of have to be that Taurus aspect of being stubborn with your emotions and kind of go, this, I may feel bad right now, this isn't right, but I do know what is right, and I need to be committed to that. So this new moon, get committed to what it is that's fair, and that's what's going to give you security, and that's what's going to make you feel beautiful. And when I say beautiful, like every single day when you wake up, do you enjoy the sunrise? Do you enjoy the sunset? Do you enjoy driving to work? Do you like all these type of things that just make that accumulate I cannot talk today. Accumulate into the big picture. Venus will be at 29 degrees Pisces, and Mars will also start squaring Neptune on Wednesday. As Mars squares Neptune with this Venus and this Gemini and Neptune aspect, Gemini and Pisces aspect. God, man, this Mercury retrograde's killing me. With this Pisces and Gemini aspect, the biggest thing is to not get distracted. It's about being able to handle everything at once. With Mars and Gemini, it could be like, man, things are just coming left and right. I got to do this, and I got to do that, and I got to do this on top of it, but I really also want to do this. And with Neptune and Pisces, it could just kind of be like, well, it's kind of bringing up my shit inside of me, so maybe I don't want to do all of this. It sounds like a lot. I'd rather be distracted. I'd rather just not even do that. I'd rather go have fun or party or something like that. With this Mars squaring Neptune, you going out and not doing what you wanted to, even though your energy's scattered, even though you have a billion things to do, that's not what's going to lead you to your right path. We just got done with all this Pisces energy, with Venus just going direct and moving on from it. We're done with this Pisces energy. This Pisces energy is working on being healed right now, especially as Chiron moves through the last degrees, and then we'll go into Aries. However, we've really worked on this Pisces energy of, what's healthy for us? How are we being more in alignment with ourselves? Are we being clear? Are we mentally sane? How are we doing with our mentality and our minds and stuff like that? So on Wednesday, don't get lost, don't get overwhelmed, and don't get confused. There's going to be a lot of stuff going on. You could just be like, well, I don't know what to do. There's just so much, blah, blah, blah. Don't fall into that. Please don't. Because we're going to be moving forward with a lot of big things. The Sun and Neptune will then also start sextiling. So this is going to be putting a bigger emphasis on our dreams, on our spirituality, and things you're going to actually start to wear this energy that you created a couple weeks ago. Well, I forgot what week it was. I just remember doing the video about it. I think it was Mars and Taurus. As Mars and Taurus was sextiling Neptune, now that the sun's going over, it's kind of like you did all these things and now they're coming to fruition, and you're starting to, see the fruits of your labor, and it's all starting to make sense. So keep that in mind this week, as what you did in the past has moved forward into what it is now, and that's just the compound effect. That's just how things work. And it will also, the moon will be over the sun. However, it will be trining Pluto in Capricorn, and then the sun will start actually trining Pluto on Saturday. However, with this trining Pluto in Capricorn, this is about understanding the fundamental, the mentality that you are changing, and let's start putting in, it's kind of like, okay, this analogy I used last week about we're building a skyscraper, we're building a building. And at every building site that I've ever seen, at least, there's always this little mobile home trailer that's got all the office stuff. It's got a couple accountants working in it. Things like that's the office. That's what we're starting to do. It's like, all right, we got the ground laid out. We're doing this. Let's put the little side office so we know what the hell is going on, and we can actually have some sort of an organized idea to this. It's about basically putting that in place. And as it starts to trine Pluto, it's like, work on building something new. Work on giving yourself security in any way that you can that's going to make you feel right, that's in alignment with you. Man, what was I just about to say? Oh yeah, and then Pluto's retrograde right now. As Pluto retrogrades, Pluto's all about deep transformation. It's got that on lock. It's all it ever does. However, now that it's in retrograde, it's going to be this weird time where it's almost as if karma doesn't exist, but it does. It's kind of hard to put into terms. When Pluto goes retrograde, it's kind of like things aren't as intense as they were, but they're still changing. It's not going to be at this root issue. It's not going to be this core thing. It's going to be the more mundane things, the more surfacey things. It's kind of like Pluto takes a break, like a lunch break real quick. And it's not like he's not coming back. It's just, hey, let's use this time to our advantage. Pluto's retrograde now. Like we're starting to use what we went through with the Pluto direct, and we're starting to put that into place now. So Pluto's going to give us a little break. And as Pluto's retrograde now, with what I just said with this new moon in Taurus, and the moon will be sextiling or trining Pluto, and then the sun will be trining it later. This is that time to, okay, karma's out of the way, Pluto's taking a break. Let's get what we can figured out right now before shit gets intense. On Thursday, then, Mars and Gemini will be conjuncting the moon in Taurus. The moon will be moving through the last few degrees. This is going to be like, all right, like, I know what I want to build. I know it's going to make me feel good. I know what's going to go on. Like, let's start doing it. And how can we do it? With Mars and Gemini, this is also time to be creative, man. Do something different. Do something fun. See something in a unique way. And do something that you usually want to do before. With this Mars and Gemini, move forward in things that are new to you, that you want to understand more, and that you want to grasp and be able to utilize in your life more. As Mercury goes on top of Uranus on Thursday too, that's going to be a pretty big deal. I don't know why I didn't write it so much more with more emphasis than I usually would. Anyway, Mercury going over Uranus. This is that change in mindset. This is that what we've been looking for, as far as like, okay, what else do we need to do? I've done this, and that, and things are still not working. What needs to be the solution? What needs to happen to get this figured out? And as Mercury goes over Uranus, that's that day. That's that make or break point where you're either going to psych yourself out, it's going to suck, and you're going to be stuck that way for a minute, and it's going to rip something out of your life that you weren't expecting, and it's going to be really intense. Or it could be a day to go, wow, I fucking get it now. Like, holy shit, I actually understand everything. Like, I understand what I've been through, what I've had to go through, what I want to do, what I want to feel, and getting that mindset just locked in there and getting it concrete and getting it to where you can understand it. It's like finally reading the whole manual book to something, and you're like, I finally get it all now. Like, it all makes sense. It's all like right here. That's what we're going to be feeling. So again, putting that positive energy and putting all of your intention onto growth and onto expansion and onto change is where you're going to find all of this good energy lying. Then the moon will also be sextiling Venus. This is also just putting a bigger emphasis on relationships, how we show up in those, how those affect us, as well as the dynamics between that too. It's going to be kind of opening up new doors, new lines of communication, and things are going to start to be a little bit more understandable and relatable. And then on Thursday too, like one of the last things I want to talk about, North Node, 0 degrees Virgo. North Node, God, what day is it? It's like May 11th or something like that. The North Node will be moving into 29 degrees Leo, which is a whole nother story. However, as the North Node moves to 0 degrees Virgo, this is about this is that pure Virgo energy that you want to channel, that let's, make it perfect. Let's create something great. Let's be loyal. Let's feel amazing. Let's get it all together. Let's have habits. Let's have routines. Let's have structure and organizations. Let's make it all right. And with this North Node going 0 degrees Virgo, this is the time to feel that. The North Node is your potential, your progression in life, where you should go, what you're capable of. And it's going to show you what your destiny really is. And as it moves and as it transits, it's time to get more and more clear on that feeling of destiny, being more organized, being more capable, and being more strategical about what it is that you're trying to accomplish out of all this. And then it'll move into Leo, and then it's just time to actually do it. However, we've gotten clear, we've gotten all that stuff. Friday, Mars will then conjunct the moon. Still great, still moving forward, able to put not necessarily emotionally reacting, however, moving more on what our emotions are, and we're going to be able to understand what exactly our emotions are and what we're feeling based on the results of what we're doing, based on our actions. Really, that's the best way to put it. And don't bring this to heart. Don't overanalyze it. But don't also be like confused about it. Don't get distracted. But really look at, what am I feeling, and how does that work with what I'm doing? Like, what's really in alignment right there? And with this Mars and Moon and Gemini, it's looking at the dynamic of that. It's looking at both sides of the picture. It's looking at, and it's really looking at how it all works and how to understand everything of it. Also, it will be trining Jupiter. Mars and the moon will start to trine, the moon will start to trine Jupiter, and then I believe on Saturday, Mars will then trine Jupiter. However, as this trines Jupiter, this is looking at relationships, and also, again, back to the relationship of yourself. But it's more of this understanding the dynamic between it and having fun with it. It's like, kind of like if you were to, let's say, I don't know, blast off into outer space, and you go in this new universe. At first, you're really excited, and then all of a sudden, it's kind of like, oh my God, what do I do? And now it's like, okay, I kind of get the logistics. I know what I got to do. I got it all figured out. What can I understand more? What can I research more? What can I study more? And with all that being said, this is going into the relationship aspect with yourself, with other people. What are the good things that are happening right now, and how can you put more action on that by understanding what is actually happening? Venus will also then hit 0 degrees Aries. Then it's time to get really passionate and really driven on what it is that you want and actually go for it. Venus in Aries likes the chase. It likes the intensity of it. It likes the action, the tenacity, and it wants to conquer. It wants to go out. It wants to seek, and it wants to build, and it also wants to feel and experience. And as Venus moves, it's not direct. It's going to be getting out of its square with Saturn soon, and as it moves forward through Aries, it's like, let's go for it, man. Let's actually go do it. Let's go we experienced all this shit. We know what we want. We know how we want to feel. Now let's move forward and actually go do it. Like it kind of like, you could overthink it, like, oh, I don't know how to do it, but then all of a sudden it's just that easy to just go and do it. It's just that natural. Saturday, I'll talk a little bit about Saturday. I'm going to be doing a video about Saturday too. Jupiter will be trining Mars, and then Mercury will go behind Uranus, and then Sun will start to trine Pluto. With everything that I just said this week, that's basically going to be more locked in on Saturday. This weekend, whatever is created this week is going to be really locked in by Saturday. Just want to make a few announcements before I leave too. I'm going to start doing a daily video horoscope, so if you get, please, man, this Mercury retrograde's killer. I'm starting to do daily horoscopes now, so if you guys would please subscribe to my YouTube, you guys can see those videos every single day, get you guys, inspired for the morning, get, more in alignment with who you are on a daily basis, and be able to understand the energy and be able to use it more to your advantage. As well as I'm going to start doing monthly horoscopes for each and every individual zodiac sign, so if you're really interested in that, please, again, subscribe to my YouTube. I'd really appreciate that. You can follow me on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter, all that kind of stuff, and I really appreciate everything you guys have. Thank you guys so much, and I will be seeing you tomorrow. Yeah, bye.